Alrighty, so we are back on the record here. This is with, I don't even know how to say her name properly. It's Brayley, isn't it? Magistrate Brayley. We got this lady here. I spotted this one. Well, I didn't spot it actually. I heard it this morning when I was out driving around listening with my old headphones in, as I always do. The lovely lady here in the middle of the screen, Miss the person or SovCit formerly known as Octavia Lewis, the corporate entity or whatever. She has some issues here today, and it gets pretty messy. Now we're gonna play it for you and let me know what you think down below. I feel like this is one of those scenarios where a couple of nice nicknames are coming handy. So let me know down below.
Okay. Now calling case numbers 22W002133A and B, as well as 22W002543A, B, and C. These are the Township of Ypsilanti versus Octavia Lewis. Ma'am, can you please state your name for the record?
My name is Bree Octavia Melissa Alexia Albertine Lewis. My incorporated name is Octavia M. Lewis Incorporated. That is the name as you are trying.
Okay. So today is the date and time set for a pre-trial in
The guy's face, sorry, I have to just point this out, right? The guy, what way? Down in the middle row on the far left, I think, if you're looking at it. Anyway, whatever. That guy's face is absolutely priceless. He kind of looked at the cameras and say, "Oh, we're about to have some shit go down over here."
the matter ending in C, which is for failure to display a license. I am seeing that your license is suspended. Is it something that you are working on fixing?
At this time, I've already gone to the Secretary of State. Unfortunately, due to Magistrate Nelson's unplanned retirement, um, there was an agreement on record with him that if I could get my license back, that these matters would be dismissed. Unfortunately, what didn't happen in that agreement was he did waive the fees for me at that time, and I went to the Secretary of State to get it, but I did not have the paperwork. I called to the courthouse, informed them of that, and they told me that I would have to deal with that in court because that was something that was on record, verbally spoken on record, that I would have to deal with the court. So I'm actually here today to try to get that reinstated so that I can receive it. I had the state of Michigan caseworker that was assisting me, that is the conservator for the state of Michigan, that was assisting me because of my accounts.
Okay. Mr. Barnett.
So I'm sorry, I do have to tell you this is actually the wrong venue for this because it is an incorporated name. It falls under corporate law, but I'm going to try to get this handled civilly because it happened during the time that I was physically in the car.
Can I just off that, right? So she said that this is corporate law. But first of all, I'm sure the judge, the learned judge who obviously was a lawyer, or a magistrate, I should say, who was a lawyer and is now a magistrate, is probably very, very thankful for your little legal lesson there. Now, maybe it's different in the States, but my understanding is that corporate law falls under civil law anyway. Now, again, I could be corrected on that one, but that was my understanding anyway.
Oh, I'm sorry. I do have to tell you this is actually the wrong venue for this because it is an incorporated name. It falls under corporate law, but I'm going to try to get this handled civilly because it happened during the time that I was physically in the car.
Your Honor, it sounds like she doesn't have a valid license, so I guess I wouldn't oppose an adjournment to allow her to go try to resolve that. Um, I want her to be clear. I'm the one who is responsible or makes the decision about what sort of plea offer to make. I would not dismiss the case. My standard offer would be a reduction to a civil infraction if you get a valid license. Um, it may be beneficial to put this case in front of the judge. It sounds like there may be more going on here than we realize.
Yes,
I
that
wouldn't
is.
have an objection to that, Your Honor. I think this should go before
That
the
would be
judge.
fine with me also.
Okay, then this is going to be adjourned to March 20th, 2024 at 9 a.m., and that will be before Judge Washington.
I think I like this to be in person.
Mr. Barnett, is that something that you're able?
She's always welcome. I don't know. I mean, she's welcome to show up at the courthouse, and
Okay.
I'm going to be on Zoom at that point. So
That's
Okay.
fine. I have to be in person. I need
Okay.
to be in person.
And Attorney Anderson, I'm assuming somebody from your office can be here in person.
It goes by the judge's docket, Your Honor, but she can certainly contact her assigned attorney to work that out.
Okay. So I believe that in-person hearings
My
are
actual attorney is not here today.
okay. So, ma'am, I'm trying to set your time at this point because it's not going to be 9 a.m. The judge
That's
does not set for 9 a.m. I believe.
Your Honor, I'm going to suggest that we set it at 9 a.m. if she wants to appear and then Zoom into the courtroom. And then Judge Washington can determine if she wants to have her come into the courtroom itself.
Well, my attorneys will be accompanying me. This is why I'm asking for it to be in person, which is actually my right to be in person, to represent myself in person.
Ma'am, okay, I'm going to
I've
cut you
never
off for a
had
minute. Okay.
I'm sorry?
I'm clarifying with the clerks if the judge has a set time for in-person hearings. Let me find that out, please.
Okay.
So is she representing herself, or is she going to have an attorney, or like a standby attorney, maybe standby counsel? I got to just say the lady just below her sparking up a cigarette and
Okay.
smoking away his
While
gas.
I wait to hear back on that, I will note that the other 4 matters that were called were set for show cause hearings. Those will also be adjourned to the same date. Okay. So you're hearing the pretrial on March 20th, 2024 will be at 11 a.m. in person. Okay. And if you have nothing else this time, this hearing is concluded and you are free to sign out of Zoom.
You said you were checking to see if there was an in-person time.
Yes, 11 a.m. in person. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Let's get a blood to and all those that came in.
Well, that was interesting. It was like a kind of SovCit light, I would say. First of all, what is going on with all the kids? Like, what are you feeding those children? They've been in and out of the toilet there the whole time. Like, god damn, like put a lock on it or something. I don't know. I gotta say, it'd be interesting to see what comes of this one in court. Definitely stay tuned for that. We'll keep our eyes peeled for that one. If she's going to appear in person, I like it's fine when they appear in person. I like when they appear via Zoom because it's easier for me to hear and see everything. But yeah, this whole corporate nonsense, like, I mean, there is no basis for it. This has been covered time and time again. You know, there's no point me rehashing everything over and over again. We've seen judges deal with it and all that kind of stuff. The reality is a lot of these people do something stupid or something illegal, and when they get caught, they decide that, you know what, maybe the laws just don't apply to me anymore. Well, I'm sorry, but that's not the way that works. It's like, you know, when a kid is like, you know, sorry, you can't do that because that's the rules. And they're like, well, the rules don't apply to me. You're like, you want to bet, do you? Because I'll just send you to your room. And basically, this is like the adult version of just sending somebody to the room. Like, I mean, you know, it's not the crime of the century or anything like that. And then on the same side, she's applied to the Secretary for State. She's gone through the kind of legal process of it. And she's prepared to hear it in the wrong jurisdiction or the wrong venue or whatever the case may be, or whatever she's claiming. But it's kind of like having the best of both worlds. She's using the whole SovCit stuff on one side and then trying to use the legal system that she clearly disagrees with or feels is the wrong venue on the other side. So, I mean, you can't have your cake and eat it. Anyway, let me know what you think down below, guys. I think because of the internet, because of YouTube and all that kind of stuff, the whole SovCit thing is starting to get out of control, really, because there's a lot of this stuff out there. A lot of it is just absolute tripe. And I'm not against people fighting for the rights that they have or the rights that they feel they deserve. I've got absolutely no problem with that. None whatsoever. In fact, I applaud anybody who goes out there and fights for those rights that they don't feel they have or that they should have or that they feel aren't being, respected. I've got nothing but respect for people like that. The problem for me is when somebody does something clearly illegal or stupid and then tries to use a sovereign citizen defense for it. It's like you're going about it all the wrong way. There's no winner in that scenario. Well, I mean, there is. Like, ultimately, you're going to lose 9 times out of 10, if not more than that. But it's just pointless, and it costs the taxpayer more and more money every time these absolute mouth breathers appear. But I guess it gives us something to laugh at. But anyway, folks, thank you so much for joining me. Really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure and smash that like button, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Sláinte. And also, just let me know how you feel about this format. Sláinte again.